Hello there, it's Jaida Essence Hall from Rupaul's Drag Race Season 12, and if you would like to know how I, as well as the rest of the cast of Season 12, are just like the periodic table groups, continue watching.
You know, there are a few things that I absolutely love in this world. One of them is science and the other one is drag queens. RuPaul's Drag Race is my absolute favorite thing and is the thing that I look forward to each and every week. Let me set the scene for you. It is Friday. It has been a week. It is always a week because at work it is tough. It is always a week. It has been a week. You know you're going home. You're not going out. You are in for the night. 8 o'clock rolls around. It's time for Drag Race. You call a good Judy. You get a drink and you are sitting there for 2 hours invested in this competition where all of the art, all of the drag, all of the fabulousness is the only thing that you have to focus on. It is my me time, and that little bit part for the week is my favorite thing in the world. Love a good drag show. So today I'm mixing two things that I love the most. Drag queens, specifically from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12, very talented cast this season, and also science, because I'm going to be talking about periodic trends from the periodic table. Let's get started. The periodic table is crafted in a way that tells us a lot of information. We can tell different characteristics or patterns based off an element's period or group, and the characteristics and patterns are called periodic trends. Now there are tons of trends including electronegativity, atomic radii, ionization energy, but this video we're just going to focus on 4: ductility, malleability, reactivity, and melting and boiling point. Reactivity is kind of self-explanatory, but it's the same thing that applies for elements and the queens, that they're very reactive depending on who they are and circumstances. So I'm going to rate overall reactivity on a scale of 1 to 4. I like to think of boiling and melting point of how easy or hard it is for a queen to get upset, boiling point being anger and melting point being breakdowns. Oxford Dictionary defines malleability to be hammered or pressed permanently out of shape without bending or cracking. For the queens, I'm looking for if a queen is going to rise to the occasion or works well under pressure, especially in intense challenges. Ductility, on the other hand, is the ability to be deformed without losing toughness. Are they a strong queen with versatility, or do they lose their strength when they're out of their element? It's important to note that I will be working from left to right, but that is not the only way that periodic trends run. Representing the alkali metals is Brita. I think it's fair to say that Brita is more of one of the reactive queens this season. She's constantly running her mouth about this New York reputation that we don't get to see because she's not bringing it through the challenges. It takes nothing to make her upset, either mad or sad, because she gets in her head so constantly. Even with these drawbacks, she gives you a lot of versatility and variety, which I love. She's different talents and she's not afraid to show them. I have a feeling she's going to be one of those queens that sneaks up on us and comes back for All Stars and blows everyone away. Brita, like the alkali metals, has about a 4 on the reactivity scale, which is extremely reactive, as high as you can get. She does have malleability and ductility, but does also have a low boiling point and melting point. Our next queen is Jaida. Huge fan of Jan. I am absolutely feeling the Jantasy. I love everything she has to offer. I think she is a fantastic queen, and she is an alkali earth metal in every single way possible. Throughout the show, we see Jan. She comes off very calm and composed, but don't get it twisted. Miss Jan is very reactive. She gets upset very easily as well. For both categories, not as much as Brita, but it's still going to be ranking up there. So she's going to get a 3 on our reactivity scale, and it's going to get a low boiling point and melting point, just not as high as Brita. She can hide it a little bit better. But the reason I love Jan so much, and she is such a strong queen, is because of her malleability and her ductility. If you want to talk about variety, if you want to talk about strength, she is giving you dance, she is giving you comedy, she is giving you looks, she is the entire full package. She's another one that's going to come back for All Stars and turn it out. Overall, both the Jan and alkali earth metals have a high reactivity, they have a low melting points and boiling points, but also malleability and ductility. Next up is the transition metals, and I'm not gonna lie, the queens in this category are my absolute favorite of the season. Miss Gigi Good and Miss Jaida Essence Hall. Both Jaida and Gigi are so extremely talented, and they are the core definition of malleability. They are constantly under pressure and they do not crack. They bring it every single time. They're so focused on winning the competition that it takes a lot to actually get them upset, sad, or mad. Their end goal is what they are focused on, and that is it. They still are reactive, just not as reactive as some of the other queens, because they're not here for the petty drama, they are here for the crown. Overall, Jaida, Gigi, and the transition metals are going to be very reactive, so they're still going to get a 3 on the reactivity scale. But they have a high boiling point and melting point, and the malleability and ductility is absolutely there. Can we please all just agree that this year's Miss Congeniality is Congeniality, fair favorite, whatever you want to call it. Either way, at the end of the day, it is Heidi. America loves Heidi, and it's because of her metalloid characteristics. The metalloids are special because of the variety they bring with their trends, and this is what makes Heidi so likable and relatable. Now, on the periodic table, the trends are going to vary going up and down or from side to side. Overall, for Heidi and the metalloids, everything kind of varies. You've got a 2 or a 3 on the reactivity scale, but your melting point, boiling point, malleability, and ductility all depends on the challenge if you're Heidi, and your location on the periodic table if it's a metalloid. Up next is Crystal Metal. Now, Crystal is going to represent the other metal category on the periodic table. Like Heidi, her melting point, boiling point, and reactivity kind of vary depending on the challenges. She can either be extremely reactive or extremely subdued. She can be very excited and very happy if she does really well in a challenge, making it hard to bring her down, or very sad and in her head if she doesn't perform as well as she thinks she should. Crystal is definitely malleable, and I think it's fair to say that she is one of the most malleable queens that we have ever seen. Each week on the main stage, it is something different. You never know what she's going to look like when she comes around the corner. And she's very smart because week after week after week, she is listening to the judges' critiques and actually taking in the feedback, which is very rare for the queens to do. Remember, the definition of malleability is literally to be bent out of shape without losing toughness, and that is Crystal. She's very, very, very good at giving different variety, of giving versatility, but still keeping true to her personality and who she is as a queen. She is now one of my favorites of the season. She's grown on me the most, and I think she's going to make it to the top 4. For both Crystal and other metals, our reactivity is going to vary. Sometimes she's more quiet, and so it can be around a 2, kind of semi-reactive, but she can get up to a 4 in an untucked or in a stressful situation. Melting point and boiling point are also ones that are going to vary a little bit depending on location if you're on the periodic table, or what's going on in the challenge or the workroom if you're actually Crystal. But the malleability and the ductility are there. No one can clock her for that. Those are absolutely on point every time. Moving on to non-metals with Miss Nikki Doll. Nikki Doll is a look queen through and through. I live for her looks. She is absolutely gorgeous. But when it comes to comedy or dancing, the girl struggles. Because of this, I'm gonna say she's not very malleable or ductile. She stays in her lane, is very good at one thing, but doesn't have the variety of versatility. And when she's asked to do other things, that's when we start to see cracks in her performance. We've also seen in Untucked and just on the show that her reactivity, melting point, and boiling point all vary and are kind of all over the place, saying things with the other girls depending on the challenge or the situation. Because of this, I've classified her as a non-metal, even though she had that incredible bodysuit, the metal one for the Cape Challenge. I was living for that. It was so gorgeous. But yeah, other than that, non-metal characteristics. So just to recap, Nikki Doll, non-metal. We don't really see a lot of malleability or ductility, but there is a range in reactivity going all the way from the bottom of the scale at 1 all the way to the top at 4. And the melting point and boiling point are also going to vary depending on location on the periodic table or the situation for the challenge that she is in. The halogens are brought to you by none other than Dahlia Sin. Now, Dahlia at the beginning of the season already admitted to being petty, and you know she has high reactivity if she's coming from the house of Aja.
You were getting your life together. You could hardly even get yourself together, and you're telling me to get myself together? Girl, bye.
But this is matched with a low boiling point and melting point, because it takes nothing to get her upset, hot, and bothered. It does make for good TV, though. Malleability and ductility, Absolutely not. These are a no. And this isn't actually her fault. This is more the producers and the editors, because we've seen her as broccoli in every single episode. I don't know why we're trying to make broccoli a thing. The broccoli is not a thing. Bringing it back to the periodic table, Dahlia is a halogen. Halogens are about a 4 on the reactivity scale, have a low melting point and boiling point, but absolutely no malleability or ductility. Let's talk about Aiden Zane. Aiden is the absolute definition of a noble gas. She's not reactive to very much, and I don't know why this bothers the other queens so much, but it really gets on their nerves that she has nothing to go back and forth with them with. She actually has a low boiling point and melting point, and things get her upset fairly easily, but the thing is, Miss Aiden is smart. She has that low boiling point and melting point, but she keeps it together. She never lets anyone see her sweat. She's very composed. In the show, she's shown not to really have that much malleability or ductility. She doesn't have a variety of looks she can do. She wears that one wig on the runway all the time, not very good at comedy or improv challenges. She has her one lane. But I honestly don't think that's true, and I think she's going to be another one of those queens that comes back for All Stars, and it's going to be like, who is this? Where did she come from? We've never seen this side of Aiden before. Okay, that's it for this video.
If you like what you're seeing, like, comment, and subscribe. We would love to hear your thoughts, and we would love, love, love all of your support. Thank you. Mwah.